Well, hello there, beautiful people, and welcome to Dragon Age Secrets. I am, of course, your DM of Doom, or your Keeper, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on Twitch and YouTube. And with me today, we've got my amazing cast. We have got Jackalish, we have got TTV Wacky Man, we've got Stories from the Roses, and we've got Witty X Witch. Look at them, they're all so freaking pretty. Oh, and we also have a cat. We have a cat as well.
Kitty! Tortoiseshell kitty or calico
Hello.
kitty?
Yeah,
Calico kitty.
It's a fine, distinguished young gentleman. Or lady. I don't know. I feel like every time I talk to cats, I talk to them as if I'm speaking towards like an old English gentleman, like an old English noble of some kind. Like dogs, the biggest, angriest looking dog, and I'm like, "Who's your cute puppy? Who's your?" But cats, I'm like, "Good evening." Like I don't know how to behave. I don't know how to behave to cats.
Milady.
She is the old housekeeper.
You're the one who gives us quests.
The look that cat just gave the camera was something else.
You walk into a room with a lounging cat, you must bow. That is the appropriate reaction. It's just like, my lord.
What do I have in housekeeping? I do have housekeeping. On the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st of this month, I will be at UK Games Expo. I'm playing a Dragon Age game there. I'm running a Dragon Age game, and if you want to play it, you can come and find me on Sunday, where I'll be running them with Gehenna Gaming. It's going to be fun, and I'm also going to be walking around doing interviews and dressed up and giving hugs and all that shit, so come see me at UK Games Expo.
Are you going to wear your warden?
No, I didn't get my warden done in time.
Aw, darn.
Which is unfortunate. Would have been good, but I didn't get it done in time. But I'm hoping to get it done in time for PAX U.
Nice.
I'll bring Morrigan if you do.
Yes. Where else was I going? Yeah, so do that. What else? Throughout this, I'm going to put up a couple of links. One of the links is towards our Ko-Fi page. If you want to help support the channel in any way, shape, and form, not necessary or mandatory, but always appreciated. And I'm also going to put up a link to my Start Playing page, because I'm going to start running Dragon Age games on Start Playing, because ain't nobody doing it. And Dragon Age is just fun. So if you want to learn how to play Dragon Age, you want to support a professional DM's career, hey, go and check it out. It's fun. Other than that, I've got nothing else to say, so I'm going to pass over to my wonderful cast. And by that, I mean I'm going to pass over to Jess. And I'm going to ask it, guys, what happened on our last day in Thedas?
Yeah, Jess, what happened?
Do we want me to do it, or do we want Abby? Because Abby gave some really great ones last time. Abby was very concise. I am all over the place.
I mean, I can do my notes, and then you can fill in the blanks.
Sure. That way we don't have to spend like 5 minutes of me rambling about random crap.
Game 8. Rowan opens up to Vessa about the Kooslins, especially Fergus and his own sister. He doesn't take offense to Vessa's mistrust of humans. Arrive in Westhill and stay in inn. Meryl, Tira, and Aldrad see a Tevinter Magister elf. Odd combo. Slave, question mark? Aldrad, quote, I follow the Qun when it suits me, end quote. Stable, Rowan and Vessa. In all caps, Rowan's sister is/was circled a mage, exclamation point. She never came back from her harrowing. I can't read that. They flirt a little and he's down bad, also believes in fate. Inside, Rowan tells Aldrad about fate and his desire to court Vessa. Heart. Tira gives Vessa shit for crushing on a human. Meryl helps Aldrad with his braids and Luca's. Morning, Kunari outside in the morning, arguing with Fairy Captain. One is a Cerebos. Rowan gives Vessa a wolf tooth as proof he's a hunter and provider, leaves it with her, and walks away.
I think there's 3 Kunari. Like, there's 2 arguing because
there's
Cerebos,
2 arguing, and then there was the Cerebos.
There's no way that Cerebos has enough rights to speak, let alone the physical ability to.
No, because above table, as we do understand, Sarabas have so little rights within the realms of Kunari. They are not trusted to go anywhere without, I'm going to say this word, I'm going to say the wrong Kunari word, an Arvarad. And an Arvarad is just basically a Kunari soldier who holds a special leash, or a rod, which is connected to a Sarabas's collar, and if they try to do anything against the Arvarad's commands, shocky.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not an instant.
Tira put a hit out on somebody.
Yeah, Tira accidentally put a hit out on somebody.
Oh, it was not on accident. That was not on
no, my thumb slipped.
Oh, I'm also learning something else about the Aravad. Never mind, sorry. Hold on.
Oh my god, the Arvarad are fucked up.
I'm not talking to them at all, because they watch over mages and hunt Talbasha. Uh-oh. We're not talking to them.
One of my favourite things is talking to, like, in the first 2 games, when you kind of learn little bits about the Kunari. In the second game, you meet an Arvarad, and he just acts like a dick, and you're like, this one's a real dick. And then you speak to Iron Bill, and he's like, nah, they're all like that. Like, you have to be a special level of twisted to want to be an Arvarad. Like... But anyway, yes, we left off in West Hill, just about to get on, or just about to step foot onto the boat that would take us to Jainen. Now, as I was saying, Abby, I did say earlier on, I found a map that actually gives you the distances between things and tells you that roughly a person on foot can travel 30 kilometres in one day, or 60 kilometres on horseback, which means that I have greatly overestimated how long it will take you to get to Jainen. You'll be on this ferry for maybe 12 hours. Like, maybe. It will not be long at all. You guys will be in Jainen by the beginning of the early evening. But we did leave off with Sir Rowan walking away from Vessa after handing her the wolf tooth, a symbol of a past memory for him, to prove that he could hunt and to prove that he could provide. And he seems to think that this is a way of just showing interest, which it is not. So I'm going to pass on over, and we're going to go to Vessa. Sir Rowan is maybe at this point 5 yards away from you. Okay? He's turned, he's walked away, he's making his way towards his quarters for the night. What do you do at being handed this?
I am gonna go back into my room.
Okay.
The panic is so real.
Tira.
Mm-hmm. What are you knocking on?
Your door.
With absolute terror. I open up that tiny crack and I'm like, oh good, it's you.
Good, it's me. That's the boldest statement that you could have made in this situation. You see me and it's good?
It's better than maybe somebody else at this particular moment.
You have to let him know what he just did. Right?
Yeah, but that's weird. That's a weird conversation to have.
Fine, I'll do it. Give me the thing.
No!
Oh, do you want it then?
I just need to think about it.
You need to think about it! You met him yesterday!
I need to think about how I'm gonna tell him what he did.
I'll do it right now for free. The look on this poor Templar's face when I explain what he just did will be all the payment I need. Unless you, of course, plan on keeping the trinket.
Like, no, I mean, I can't right now. Okay, fine. And she hands it to you.
I go skipping down the hallway.
She very, like, in the kind of, like, stealthy scamper. So it's not the most stealthy of stealths. It's just kind of like, is following behind to watch. To see how this all goes.
Sir Rowan!
Sir Rowan will poke his head out of his room. Tira, hi. What can I do for you?
I think there's been a grave misunderstanding of our culture.
Oh, He looks genuinely distressed. He's like, I'm terribly sorry. It genuinely was not my intent.
No offense to anyone. But I don't think you meant to propose marriage to my companion on the first day you met her.
Oh, no. I was giving a token of something I've hunted as a display of affection.
That's not how that works.
Oh, I've massively overstepped the line.
I mean, massive. Okay, this is... We're more open and free with our emotion than you Shemlin are. So, massive, no. Sudden, certainly.
I will go and address this immediately.
Okay, well, take this first.
Just
so that you don't...
He'll take it back and he'll make a point of, like, leaving it with his armor. Like, putting it back in the room.
If, in a week or two you decide to give it back to her, that's your own business.
I don't think it'll quite be that quick. There's things that have to be done first. But he looks at you very genuinely. He's like, thank you, Tira. Thank you so much for letting me know of this. I'll do better to ensure I'm less ignorant.
If you have questions, you can always ask me. I'm not going to judge.
Alfred?
I'm in this room.
Yeah, Alfred's
So is
sharing
Meryl.
Yeah,
She's been doing braids. And so is Luca. We're all in
We're
here.
all here. We're all here.
Look, no, but see, that's the thing. You guys are all there. You guys are all there, like, adults of varying degrees, whether it is culturally barely adult or culturally being adult for a time. You're all adults. Luca's like 16, and he's just like, I have no idea what this means. What are they talking about?
No, I think Aldred just makes an at the idea of when Tira says, "I won't judge." That does get a solid belly laugh out of Aldred.
Excuse you. I won't judge him for trying to learn. If he makes a blunder and doesn't ask, I might judge a little bit. Or in this case, a lot of it.
Aldred nods, but his smiles is still very there.
Rowan will look back at Aldrin and be like, she's right to chastise if I've done something incorrect. And then he's gonna then.
God, could you stop being such a genuinely good person for 5 minutes so I can make fun of you? And she just stops away.
I can try my hardest. Oh.
She's looking out for you.
Why does she sound so angry?
That's Tira.
He will make his way back to Vessa's door, or Vessa and Tira's door, hammering on the door.
Run.
No. He's like, no. Then there's like an awkward pause that is just like, I didn't mean to do that.
See, I told you. You didn't understand what he was doing.
Yes, I know that.
You hesitated.
What do you do when someone just like proposes out of the blue? Whether
You
they know
say
it
yes or no. And if it's a no, you say no.
It's out of the blue. It was random.
It's just a pretty shemlin with a horse. And this is loud enough that he can hear it.
If it helps, I quite like being called pretty.
Yeah.
I think Vess is gonna jump out the window.
No, you can't leave.
Out a window.
Just that. It's just that scene from Scott Pilgrim where she opens the door. Is Vessa here? You know what? She just left.
Sir Rowan, she left.
Oh. I'm not
Your
very
best
good
bed's
at
downstairs.
I'm not very good at this.
You're not the worst I've seen.
I'll just try and speak to her in the morning, perhaps.
I thought it was the morning.
Yeah, I thought it was too. That's what I have in my notes.
Oh, sorry, yeah, later in the morning. I'll try. I'll
On the
just
boat,
try.
where
I'll
we
just try
can't
and
go anywhere unless we jump in the water.
Oh yeah.
You can always
That's
corner
how
her on the
that's
ferry. That'll
that's
make her
how
feel
Sir
safe.
that's how Sir Rowan shows his true colours. See, you can't run away from me now. We're on a boat.
Can you swim?
That's when everybody goes, "There's the Templar."
There we go.
I knew
It's
it.
the Templar and him.
No, it's fine. I was just trying to offer help.
Yeah. So in that point, Rowan will just kind of like turn and go back to his room.
I'm gonna drop Vessa's stuff out the window. Assuming we're outside now.
Mm-hmm.
No, my stuff.
We are
My
indeed
stuff. No.
outside. So Vessa, you are outside. Now, because you've jumped out the window, you're actually going to see some shit. What I'd like you to do for me is I'd like you to roll me a perception check, but it's going to be perception hearing.
That's one of the ones I'm good at.
That's one of the fucking things I'm good at.
Half expecting you to say you're going to see some things. The ground approaching rapidly.
It turns out you're on the third floor. Ah!
All right, I've got a 13 with 6 stunt points.
Whoa,
Ooh.
nice.
Actually, sorry, I forgot to add my bonuses. That is a total of a 17 with 6 stunt points.
We love it.
Makes a big difference, babe.
It does a big difference make.
Well thrown off. Well thrown off.
So what's the total with all your additions?
17.
17. Okay.
And I'm going to use the upper hand if your discoveries lead to combat within a moment or two of you receive a +3 bonus on your initiative roll. And since I can use 2 stunt points, since I didn't use all of them, I'm going to do Speedy Search. I complete it in half the time it would take otherwise.
Okay, so as you're listening in, you can hear a couple of things about the conversations here. Number one, it's definitely been spoken in a foreign tongue. It's not been spoken in trade tongue. By the sounding of the words, and because you've heard some of them uttered by Aldrad, you can assume that they're speaking in Kunlat.
Mm-hmm.
As you move closer, you'll begin to hear there's a phrase that is being spoken consistently. Each sentence is being this phrase is being said, and it's being repeated back by some second party of this conversation. The phrase is Bashedan Bas. Sorry, Vashedan Bas. Vashedan, separate word, Bas.
I just need everyone to know that I know how they spell boss in the games. I know how that's spelled. Did I write it that way? No. I wrote bass. We love you for it. I was just like, yeah. I wonder if Kunari have that big mouth bass on their walls.
I can imagine it.
Singing bass songs.
Kunari are the rednecks of Dragon Age.
Adds up.
I actually think if the Kunari were going to be anything, the Kunari should definitely be Scottish.
Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Wow. Whoa.
It's so close to just Vessa just getting her head chopped off.
I don't think I've ever seen the archdemon closer to just popping out of the ground. I literally don't think I've seen anything closer.
Do you know what? The thing is though, not too wrong. Like,
No.
I'd say it's closer to Irish people than it is Scottish people, but the Scots are just an Irish tribe, like, so. A really
Kind of the difference between hillbillies and rednecks.
a really, really stupid Irish tribe, but an Irish tribe nonetheless. Come on, lads! I know an even rainier place. Okay. Look, it's got loads and loads of big hills and trees. I'm sure this country will be ours forever. Wrong.
But I'm gonna say not as dumb as the people who crossed an ocean into a land that has tornadoes and said, "Yeah, this is a good spot."
Or alternatively, built cities on top of swamps, and we're like, this will stay forever.
Oh, I'm sorry, but if you want to talk about the glaring mistake in that particular country, which we shall not name, it would be building houses and towns in a particular mountain pass where things famously go fucky wucky for no reason. Like, we used to do that, and then we thought, you know what? We should stop doing this. There's like a spot in the Scottish Highlands, which actually, funnily enough, lines up perfectly perpendicular with Ireland. And a particular mountain range in Ireland, which if you trace back to Pangaea, was connected to this other mountain range we were talking about. And in this particular mountain range in Ireland, shit goes fucky wucky all the time. In this particular part of the Highlands, which matches up to that, shit just goes fucky wucky. The difference with us, in that bit in Ireland and that bit in Scotland, nobody fucking lives there, because we decided to leave that shit alone.
Listen. No one said we were smart.
This is why.
And then there's Appalachia.
This is why I'm eternally convinced. Appalachians, or the shit in Appalachia, is just the Fae. They're just the Fae that can't get back to the land under the hill.
Yep.
I'd be really pissed too if I was locked out of my house for 5,000 years. Just saying. But anyway, let's get back to Dragon Age before we start talking about fucking Apple. Oh my god. Combine Dragon Age and Old Gods of Appalachia, and let's just make this shit fucking wild.
Let's not. Let's not. I really like this character. I don't.
One of my favourite things in Old Gods of Appalachia is you can actually fight something called a knot deer. And I'm like, ha ha ha, this is fucking cool.
Not deer are scary.
You can fight them. I can just throw rocks at them from my backyard. Okay.
I've never had a TTRPG where there's rules for whistling.
Yes.
It's fucking wild. Stay tuned.
Okay, I was taking my dog.
Stay tuned on World Tree Quest because that shit's coming here.
Hate it.
Volunteer stream.
But anyway, sorry. It was my fault. I deviated. Vessa.
Mm-hmm.
You're close enough that you can hear repeated phrases, as I said before. From where you are, you're standing against it, kind of like one of like the stable walls attached to the inn at West Hill. From the sounds of this, it's coming from around the corner here, maybe in one of the stable stalls. If you want, you could risk looking around to try and get a view of what's going. But that would be a stealth check for you.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So
I'm stupid.
I require a stealth check from you, and then depending on the results of your stealth check, I may need another check from you.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna get a great sword the size of a person swung at you. God, please no.
14, no points.
14, no stun
Not bad.
points.
That's pretty good.
So let's go.
14, no stunned.
I'm actively shivering.
Aw.
I'm so nervous about this.
It's gonna be so sad if Roan proposes, gets told that oopsies, it was a proposal, and then she immediately dies.
And you'll never do it again.
I don't know, man. I think that'd be a really cool way for Rowan to turn into a villain when he goes full Anakin Skywalker. It's like kills every Kunari in sight.
I was about to say, instead of younglings, it's Kunari.
I was thinking instead of the sand people, it was Kunari, but we could go younglings
fair
too.
enough.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Suddenly my middle school celebrity crush is coming back.
You manage to successfully poke your head around. You don't draw any attention to yourself. I now need a perception seeing from you.
$11.
11. Okay. So what you see in front of you is the group of Kunari that were there before, but there's now more of them.
Roughly how many?
Roughly 5.
Okay.
The one in front, really tall. Dark grey charcoal skin like I described before. 2 very, very long curling horns. And he's holding in his hand, in one of his hands, sorry, he's holding this fairly ornate looking rod. On their knees in front of him is the Kunari who has this golden plate, which you can see here is like it's nailed into his face, like into the major bones of the face. And there's this kind of like blue crackling energy up their arms to their neck. And there are 3 other Kunari standing around. They hold themselves fairly differently from Aldrad. There's a bit more of a... There's less of a... What's the word I'm looking for? There's less of a structure and discipline to how they hold themselves. And again, that phrase is repeated again. They say the first part of it, and then it's that word, that repeated structure again. Vashidan Bas. What do you want to do here?
I'm going to dip my head and go the other way. And go find Aldrad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can absolutely do that.
Get your stuff on the way.
Yeah, if I come across my stuff, I'm gonna scoop it up.
Okay. So you find your things, you're able to pick them up and make a dash back to the inn and get inside. You don't draw any more attention. You don't draw any attention to yourself. As far as this entire area was concerned, you were a shadow. So the one thing that comes here is that you know Aldrad is sharing a room with Rowan.
And all the rest of us are in there.
Yeah. Except for Tira. Tira's not in there.
Yeah, Tira went back to their room.
So, what would you like? What do you want to do? Like, does Vessa still go to the room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Vessa, you go to the room. Are you knocking or are you just walking in?
I'll knock.
Okay.
I think Aldred would answer because he's getting all of his stuff together, and he's actually going to. He was on his way to, at the very least, carry like Merrill and Luca's stuff.
Okay. Sir Rowan is still putting on his armor. So as you go to do that, he's in the midst of like tightening one of his van braces, and as you go to get it, he just kind of nods and thanks and goes back to tightening up the armor.
I think Aldred will like begin to open it, see that it's Vessa, and then kind of stop it halfway, and then just as silently as he can, just kind of step out and wordlessly shut the door.
Oh, great. You're the one I wanted to talk to.
Please do not tell me you are also seeking advice.
Not so much advice, more of a translation, perhaps?
Aldred's demeanor instantly drops. The Qunari.
Yes.
All right. Let's walk and talk. Farther away from the stairs. I think I'm going to Merrill's and Luca's room.
Yeah, there's this really tall one, and you know, she's dark gray and has a weird rod, and there's another one that has like a gold plate. Anyway, they were saying Vashadan boss over and over and over again. What does that mean?
Okay, so several checks happen. Several things I need to try, and Aldred's going to recall there. Does the rod mean anything? I think Aldred would instantly know what a Cerebos is. I don't know if that requires.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Even the lowest of soldiers knows what an Arvarad is. You know you know what the rod is for. You can you also seen it earlier on. You know there is a Sarabas.
Yeah.
And as someone who speaks Kunla, you know that Vashidan Bas is almost a literal translation to garbage thing, rubbish thing. Some kind of... It's a description of, like, you are lower than the dirt I walk on. Sarabas are called what they are because it translates to dangerous thing.
Dangerous thing.
This is obviously somebody else who... This is someone who's putting that down to a much lower level. On top of that, deviation from the words and titles given hints to you that these are not true Qunari. They're most likely Talvashoth.
Yeah. God, that's even worse.
Yes. So, a couple of things that are also going to come up here is that whoever it is that's doing this, if they are doing it to a mage, they must be an exceptionally cold and cruel person. Because Qunari do not hate Sarabas. They pity them. They are seen as... It's seen as unfortunate. It's seen as... It's not like a, oh, you're a Sarabas, that's disgusting. It's more of a, I'm really sorry that you have to be burdened with this. I'm really sorry that you have to carry this curse with you. So for somebody who is evidently trained in how to be an Arvarad, to be cruel is major point at this being a very, very bad person.
There are some nods.
Ooh, go ahead. No. Go ahead.
Vashadan Bas means more literally a garbage thing. Saravas, or Saravash, I'm going to get these words wrong even though I have it in front of me, translates to more dangerous thing. These individuals, they're not as... I struggle to use the word proper, but their titles are wrong. Their use of wordings. A lot more... cruel. These are Talbashath. Not just your regular Kunari. Actually, then Aldred will realize what he said, look to Vessa. Do you understand that difference, or...?
So, they are ones that have left your people. Like the city elves have the Dalish.
In a way, Talvashath are those who have left the Kun and actively fight against it. They rebel in some way, whatever that may be. There are more formal words for what I would call myself. More of a Kunari would call me a Talvashath, but I believe myself more of a Vashath. Simply someone who does not follow the Kun. I have no problems with it. Talvashath, rather more unpredictable. And with how they use the titles, especially the presence of that rod pointed me out, and I'd already seen Saravas, that individual is an Aravad. They... Even with names such as dangerous things, Saravas are pitied, not put down or treated with such, well, disdain. Fear, sure. But an Aravad is someone who is especially cruel. At least I found even the Kunari Aravads cruel. I can only assume Talvashath ones to be their own kind of cruel. Best avoid these ones. Although... Never mind. Best avoid them. Simple as that. If we have to go on the ferry with them, opposite side of them. There's a bit too many of them, not enough of us. And besides, I'd rather not start a fight on a ferry. Few points of escape.
At least there's a crow's nest for me.
True enough. Until they hack through the crow's nest.
Until then.
Thank you for this information. That tells me actually less How do these Talbototh have me whistling for Ben Hasrath instead? That. Oh well. Thank you, Vessa.
You're welcome.
And if you need advice, I'm welcome to it. But I think Tira may be a better one on that for your end.
I'll pass on the advice.
And that is the wisest move you made all morning.
Now, hold on.
I thought jumping out the window was very wise.
It got more data.
It did.
Exactly. Hey, if it works, it works.
It's called data collection.
Called recon. That's my
Also-
job as a
This is the face of a little jerk.
small
Why you little
jerk.
jerk? What do you do?
Literally, we have guests over, and he's sitting here just being like, "God," like if you guys heard me go, "He," it's because he's been mean and barking at people and being a little jerk to people who are allowed to be here.
Yes, you're so twitching them little ears like I didn't do nothing.
I didn't do it. You
Looks at you
can't
with
prove
so
it
much
was
love
me.
if he likes you, but it's just so
You
mean.
can't prove it was me. I didn't do nothing.
He's a tiny ball of emotions. Leave him be.
He is. You know.
I didn't do nothing. It wasn't me. You can't prove it was me. In fact, I challenge you to prove it was me.
I think the bite marks will fit the people. He has bit people before, unfortunately.
Oh dear.
Livy is also a biter and a swatter.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a whole system for him when, like, family comes over. We go for a walk, he gets a brain toy, then he goes in his kennel. Not right now. That's okay. Can he come out, or are there still people here?
No, just eating. If he's sitting here for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He was like,
Sorry,
"Oh,
that was
I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna bite all those people. All those people are gonna get all the chompings."
All the chomping.
Who hurt
They
you?
love chops.
Heath, who hurt you?
His previous owner.
Oh shit! Fuck. You know what, Heath? Bite all the people. Okay, fucking bite everyone. Right? If I ever meet you, just bite me, just for good measure. Okay? Like, where were we going with that? Yes. So, with the conversation being had, and with Aldrad saying that, you know, we really should avoid these Kunari. How do you respond to that, Vess?
Like, well, yeah, if they're rude enough to call everyone garbage.
Okay. So you're just in agreement just to ignore them.
She's gonna defer to Aldrad.
He's gonna make a willpower saving throw. Or a willpower check of some kind. Does he say this? Because Jack's indecisive.
I would say it would be willpower, self-discipline?
Self-discipline? Yeah. Okay,
Is
that makes
that
sense.
is that there? For some reason
Yeah.
I've got a brainstorm that there is a willpower self-discipline.
Probably. That tracks.
I'm just gonna double check it. I don't know why I've got it in my head that there is one, but I'm convinced that there is one.
Willpower, courage, faith, morale, self-discipline.
It is there! Yay!
Yeah. That's pretty okay on that.
Controlling impulses. So yeah, I would say self-discipline.
I do greatly pity that Cerebos, though. He just says that out loud. be one fun way to stick it to some Talbashoth to maybe help him go missing.
I'm great at helping folks go missing. Do it all the time with my clan.
Main way to have this one at least assist in going missing would be to get that fancy rod away from the Arapod. But that's not something I would send anyone to do.
I am not going to say anything. But Vessa's got an idea. Because she's stupid.
Vessa's sudden silence makes Aldred's eyes narrow.
What? I'm not going to do anything. You said to avoid them.
I'm suddenly doubting that that's going to be taken with any amount of seriousness anymore.
I won't get into trouble, I promise.
You won't get caught getting into trouble.
Yes, of course.
You'll still be getting into trouble.
Not if I don't get caught.
I guess that's what I can count on you for. This needs to be a group discussion, though. There's 5 of them. No, 4 if Masarabas is at all willing to escape his situation. Highly unlikely. Actually, Brent, I know. What does Aldred know about, like, it's gonna sound real strange, Sarabas's opinion of their situations usually?
If the Sarabas are devoted to the Qun, they usually are like, I should not be fucking trusted. Like, so Sarabas are told if their Arvarad is killed, or if they are separated from their Arvarad, they are immediately to end their own life.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them do.
Yeah.
So it would depend on if you find out if this one is dedicated to the Qun or not.
Yeah. I realize now, dude. In at least Aldred's experience, do Talbashoth usually, it sounds strange, use an Aravad? Or is this just a guy with a control rod?
Talbashoth usually do not use Arvarads.
Yeah.
There's usually nothing like that in Talbashoth organization. That's something that it's not even like it's rare. You would never have heard of that kind of situation happening.
Yeah, these guys are weird. These are really weird. Oh, that makes me think they're Ben Hasrath again. I don't like this. Ugh.
I don't like it.
No.
Don't like it.
I don't like it.
Vessa. Did the one holding the control rod, did they seem to be wearing any fineries? Look any different than the rest of them?
I didn't give a description on what it looked like, but I will tell you that you would have seen that, yes, he was wearing typical Kunari clothing, but there was lots of, like, jeweled and gold adornments on his body.
Gotcha. Like, I mean, I haven't seen many Kunari, but what I have seen seems pretty typical. The jewels were a little different.
Can I assume jewels are pretty typical of an Aravad's presentation?
They're not. They're not typical
They're
at all.
not.
Arvrad just tend to dress like beginning management in the military.
That's such a vivid image.
And Arvrad is like a step below a captain.
Yeah, gotcha.
They wear polos and khakis.
Yeah. They still work for a living, but people still call them sir.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
That reference is lost on me. We call everyone down here sir and ma'am.
It's an old thing that used to happen in the military where if you walked up to like a commanding officer and you called them sir, and if it was anything below a sergeant, they would go, "You'll address me as sergeant, I work for a living."
That's so funny.
Because like a CO would be somebody who got the position because of their social status.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like some up to the point of sergeant, you were generally from the ranks. You were raised up.
Still over here.
That makes a lot of sense for a culture that used to use, still does use titles.
Still do it over here too in the service over here. It's if you're an NCO, you worked your way up to it.
Yeah.
As where if you're a CO, you went to college or you had something like that to start off.
Yes, commissioned and non-commissioned officers.
Yep.
And in the South, everyone just gets an honorific.
Yep.
And in Scotland, everybody's a cunt. Just depends.
That's true here too. We just don't say it.
Just depends what type you are, because in Scotland, you can be a good cunt, you can be a sound cunt, you can be a best cunt, you can be a worst cunt.
You say that on Twitch?
I feel like it
Yeah.
gets worse the more emphasis you put on the C.
I guess in America, yeah. In Scotland, nah. It doesn't. In Scotland, it doesn't matter how you say the big C. It matters what comes before it.
It's the adjective that matters.
All you know is that if you're in a pub and a Scottish person calls you friend, you done fucked up. You done goofed. We call our best friends cunts and we call our worst enemies friend. That's how we get you. Right. So, Vessa, you have a plan.
I have an idea.
You have an idea. An idea is like a quarter of a plan.
Big.
Yeah, I was like, let's not give her too much credit and say that she has a plan.
I think our chances are a lot higher, actually. This needs to be a group discussion, but that might not be a true Aravad. We might have more of a shot at this. They are still Talvashoth warriors. Nothing to sneeze at.
We've seen what Aldred can do. We've literally seen Aldred bisect people like it was a regular
I'm
Tuesday.
one dude.
Yeah,
Now
the
you
other guy,
got-
he's split this way.
He made a sandwich with like two people. Going in half, going in the middle.
I am one dude, and I've seen you turn one dude into three semi-dudes.
Well, now there's 4 of me, and also one of them that can cast Fireball, or just explode.
Turn into an Orsino flesh monster.
Oh, shit.
So you said explode, and I immediately got like, have you seen that vine of the little purple thing, and it, like when they push it down, it makes a squeaky noise and its tongue pops out? And it's like bubble, bubble, and then they point it towards the camera and they go, and then there's just the sound of a bomb going off. Like,
Yeah.
I just get like Sarbash just being like, what am I doing? What? No, okay. Kaboom. I want to hear. Is Vessa going to say their idea?
Nope.
Oh no! Come on! I want to know the ideas. I want to know. Right. Okay. Cool. Are you guys wanting to get everybody else together to discuss it, or is it just we're leaving it alone?
I feel like I need to get everyone together to at least bring up the idea. So, I think Aldred's going to finish gathering Meryl and Luca's stuff because he's going to carry it.
Okay.
Because yes,
I don't think Meryl's gonna let you carry it.
is she strong enough to stop him from picking it up?
I mean, she's little, so no. But she's definitely, you guys would notice, like she did when she was at the blacksmith, regressed to how she was when you guys first met her, where she's not saying anything, she's not looking at anybody, and she's just trying to get her stuff.
So just grab Luca's stuff and then grab Luca.
Throws Luca over the shoulder. All right, we're good.
And this is kind of the default.
I've got Luca's stuff and I've got the child. Let's go.
So, where are you making your way to?
I think once just everyone's got their stuff together, maybe into Altrad and Rowan's room. Just once we're all about to leave because we don't want to miss the ferry. Just very quick.
Feels like mom rounding up the kids to like give the game plan before they go on a trip.
I have locked the door. I am napping. Leave me alone.
Is Tira napping? Should I just leave Tira alone?
So
Here's something.
So, just to be clear and clarify, are you gathering everybody up?
Aldrad would like to gather everyone up just to go over this because clearly we're going to be on a ferry with 5 Talbashah.
Gathering up everybody is fairly easy to do. Where do you want to go to have the discussion?
Aldrad and Rowan's room, just before we leave.
So everybody's moved in sight of Aldrad and Rowan's room. And inside Aldrad, whatever way you guys want to sit, or whatever way you guys want to perch yourself or place yourself in the room, by all means, go ahead. Luca's going to stay right next to Meryl. Just like, yep, you seem to have more of a grasp on things than me, so I'm going to stay right here. As you're escorted into this room, what are the rest of you doing?
Complaining.
So nothing new.
I was having such a
No.
nice night.
You told me that we were leaving. Why are we going into a room?
We're going to be leaving soon.
And why did you get me?
2 minutes. I need you to hear this. You can sleep on the ferry.
You can sleep in the car.
Alright, get on with it.
I shall. So, and the smile, like, erases from Aldrad's face. Like, it's the full, like, happy gone instantly. These Cunari within the town seem to be more Talvashoth than they are Cunari, or even just Vashoth. Their improper use of titles kind of given that, at least to me.
But just a moment, guys. I'm just jumping to grab something. I can still hear you as you're going, okay?
Yes. And to be clear, I believe the most sound course of action would be to avoid them at all cost. Given Cunari and Ben Hasrath usually have some kind of goal, Talbashath, a bit too open-ended. That being said, they're carrying a Sarabas with them. Or a mage. Yes, that one. Usually, why I find this now just being relatively strange, Sarabas are at minimum, kept within a presence of an Aravat. One who holds a powerful magical conduit rod. One of these individuals does have this rod, but they do not seem to be matching the rank of an Aravat. I have the sense this Sarabas does not belong to this group. Especially given their nature as Talvashoth, having a Sarabas is a bit peculiar. Especially one with the constraints this one has. There's a part of me that pities him, and would like to see him freed. I will do some chatting, and see what I can find. But I think it best to avoid them. That is all.
For the record.
Record's important.
Anything to break a chain.
The weight of the sword on Aldred's back is he's very aware of it now. I would love your help in that.
Say the word. If you don't give the word, then I'll leave it be, but I feel like this is as much a group decision as it is your call.
I would quite enjoy to break that chain. And maybe put some corpses in a pier. But I am not going to make that decision unilaterally.
Do you want to vote on it then?
Rowan
Nod.
Rowan will kind of put a hand up and say, we are told information on how other cultures handle their mages when we enter the Order, should we ever have to face off against them. If this is a true Sarabas, then from what I understand they will follow blindly. They will obey any order given. And they are not trained like our mages are. There is no restraint. They are wild and chaotic with their magic. If this leads to an altercation, we will be dealing with a very powerful mage with almost no restraints and controls. No formal training. Everything will be run on pure instinct.
Thank you for that, Sir Rowan. This is true. Which is why I also believe it very important we separate this faux Aravad from his control rod. I have a sense this Sarabas is only following this group because of that rod. But, that being said, all against any kind of altercation with these Talbashot. Please, raise your hand or step forward.
Luca is going to look at Meryl to see what Meryl says.
Yeah, Mom.
Miro's just gonna be like, I do have a spell that can drain mana from another mage, so if things start to get out of hand, I can at least wear down the Sarabas. If it's needed.
And if worst comes to the worst, I can always just make him bleed profusely from every orifice.
Miro's just gonna put a little arm around Luca. We're gonna avoid that if we can, but we so appreciate the sentiment.
What does Sir Rowan do hearing that?
I was hoping someone's going to point out. Sir Rowan is making very, very pointed eyes at Luca. Like, he's looking at him with a kind of like half smile, and then looking at everybody else as if like, I'm waiting for the laugh.
That was a good one.
Make me a what am I going to call that? What am I going to call that one?
It's some kind of willpower one, right? Would that be self-discipline?
No, because that's going to be
Communication.
I think it's going to fall into communication. I think it's the one there for theatrics.
It's gonna be.
There's deception and performance.
Deception and performance.
And persuasion.
It's definitely not persuasion. Do you know what? Dealer's choice. Deception or performance.
It makes no difference to me.
Run with it. Let's see. I'm going to say this
Dice.
right now. Okay, the dice done good.
The Dice Christ has come through.
Dice Christ, I've never heard that before. I love it.
So
Papa Leo, bless
16.
these dice.
16.
Nice.
Okay. That is going to beat Sir Rowan slimly. Sir Rowan coming in with the 15. So he sees you laughing. He goes, I didn't get it, but funny.
That was a joke about, forbidden magic and stuff. Seeming we were talking about the guy that can just do whatever he wants.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, right. Of course. And he's going to look at Luca and like, yes, bleed out of their eyes, right? Yes. And Luca's just like...
Meryl's gonna just like the mom at church who just leans down to their kid like in their
Shut
ear.
your fucking mouth.
She's just gonna be like, don't mention blood. But like so soft only for him.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Vessa's going to roll her eyes. She's like, this stupid kid, I swear to God. And that could be interpreted a multitude of ways.
Tira is just sweating.
Vessa, I love all elves and hate all humans. Also, Vessa, fuck
Except
that creepy.
for these
fuck
two.
that
Except
creepy.
for these two.
Fuck that creepy Dalish kid. Also, give me the hot human.
The hot human with a horse.
It's just a typical host gal.
This is how I play my Inquisitor that romances Cullen, too.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
I've said my opinions on Colin. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I know. You don't like any of my romances, I know.
It's not that I don't like them. Some I just don't get them. Colin, the reason I don't get Colin is because there's no reason for him to suddenly change into the character he is. If there was like a story that was written between two and Inquisition that shows why he's become suddenly very sympathetic towards mages, cool beans, awesome. I now see it. Colin's a decent guy. But it's like it's the same thing with Fenris. Like at Fenris, full hatred if you're a mage. He's like, we cannot do this. You can't decide with the mages. Look what they did. So you're saying we should put chains on them? Okay, fine. Okay, let's kill the Templars. Like, it's the pancake. I don't get why they pancake so quickly.
Because we as main characters are hot, and they cave to everything we say.
Right?
They're folding for us, Bran.
Because as a Fenris romancer, that's the only excuse.
I will say though, my wife convinced me to put the effort into doing Fenris's friendship, and it is cool. It is a very good story, and he is a redeemable character. He's a solid redemption arc in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There are other elves who are not solid redemptions.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I know your opinion. I don't even have to play the game to know who you're talking about.
I'm sorry, I follow the god of vengeance. You tried to kill me, you failed. Bang. No doubt there'll be a one point where I do a playthrough with him just to see what it's like, but
He's fun.
So Rowan's gave his opinion. Look at his voice. Said, "Hey, I have magic too." Hey. How's the rest of the party feeling on this?
Vessa's all in for violence.
Okay then.
Not really care either way. She will just go with what the party goes with.
Hello again.
So she does feel bad for this out of us. But a part of her is like, this is just how it is. Just like how people don't like me. It's normal. It's fine.
Oh. One of these days, I think if any of those ever get said out loud, I'll just be like, Meryl, just shut up. Like,
Just shut the fuck. Like,
I feel like it's going to come out in like a really, really bland way, like emotionless way, and everybody's just going to be like, "I'm sorry, did you just say that with no emotion? What?
what the fuck?"
That's how it is. She thinks it's so normal.
It's at that point you're going to hear the sound of the fairy bells, signalling that there is now 10 minutes before the ferry sets sail.
Well, that's all I called us here for. I'd rather us not miss the ferry.
So, making our way to the ferry.
Walking fast, faces passing, I'm ferry bound.
Getting on the ferry is no issue whatsoever. You put your bags next to the ferry, and the dock workers start putting your belongings on.
you guys have bags?
You guys are getting paid. Sir Rowan has made sure Sir Cuthbert and his wagon have been attached, and when you put down the bags, he picks up the bags and puts them on the back of the wagon. That way, everything is accounted for. Everything's inside.
Is the wagon getting pulled like an inner tube?
I guess so.
It said attached, and I was just like, huh.
No, he's been like connected to the wagon,
Tied down.
and then when the wagon gets put on the ship, it just gets. Yeah, I guess it would get tied towards the wooden posts on the edge of the boat. And Sir Cuthbert is, taken away to a stable portion of the ferry.
I love the image of us being on the wagon asking the ferry to do donuts.
Do a barrel roll.
Yeah.
You won't.
Oh, Look at her. She's so cute. She's so full of love.
Not getting enough attention.
At this point, you do see the Kunari coming on board the ferry. When they come on board, it seems to just be the 5 of them. The 4 Kunari and the 1 Sarabas. Each of the Kunari coming on board is carrying with them a chest. You can hear the clinking of coin inside these chests. Other passengers come on, including what appears to be a dwarven caravan.
Oh no, is Lucas scared that they're gonna get his toes?
He does hide behind you. And then
Hide behind me. 5'4".
what appears to be some human knights They wear fairly decent looking armor. It's kind of like a dull kind of gunmetal grey. And on their armor and on their shields, there's this symbol emblazoned. And it's the symbol... give me just a little minute, I'm going to tell you exactly what kind of symbol it is. It's the symbol of the Ferelden coat of arms, which is two dogs rampant on a field facing each other. But this particular version of it is on a blue background. I would say the only one who might be able to understand that, realistically, is going to be either Rowan or it's going to be Meryl. So Meryl, you can roll it. I will say the roll will be slightly harder for you because this is Ferelden rather than Orlesian, but it would be a cunning military lore. Oh no, okay. Actually no. Won't be military lore. Give me a moment. I can't remember the exact wording of it. It's going to be
arcane or religion lore.
No, it's not going to be either of those. Give me just a little moment. Cunning. Is it?
I feel like we're too used to me asking about military lore.
Cunning heraldry.
Great. Okay. That is gonna be a whole... Let's see, actually, get another play. A 13 with 2 stunt points, but I don't think I can really use stunt points in this moment because that's the common pattern with me. Anytime I get stunt points, it's useless.
There is a stunt that lets you pick up a special, not specialization.
The focus?
Yeah, that you don't have.
That's right. Could I pick up heraldry and add another 2 to that?
Of course you can.
Cool, then I'll do... Well, actually, let me look how many points it is. It might be 3
or 3, I think. Also, I cannot believe my cat just let me cut her claws so seamlessly just now.
Ah, dang it. It is 3, I think. So no, I cannot do that even. That's just a straight 13.
Sorry.
Okay, so Rowan will do that. He did get stun points. He got 6 stun points. He will use 3 of them to be able to get the heraldry focus, bringing his total to an 18. So Meryl, you can at least understand that with it having dogs on it, that is a symbol of it's an old Ferelden family. Sir Rowan is going to lean towards you, Vessa, point towards them, be like, that's the symbol of Ten Logain. He doesn't say it as like a warning because he's not put that 2 and 2 together yet. He's saying it's more of like a, oh, by the way, just in case you didn't know, that symbol there, that's for Ten Logain.
Isn't he your queen's dad?
Yes, I believe that what with the situation as it is, he is the ruling steward. At least until the lands meet and then a new king is decided upon.
Must be a trustworthy guy if he's acting as king right now.
Many would say so. He is one of our greatest military heroes, but many are telling some pretty outlandish tales.
Like what?
Well, there are rumours going around that he's responsible for the failure at Ostagar.
Oh. Weird.
Ain't that strange?
To anyone else's notes, or to our keeper. We've already heard that rumor, right? Or am I just
You are
filling
you are
in?
very aware of it, yes.
It's not a rumor.
Yeah, okay.
It's what we know.
I mean, yeah,
But there's one thing I would like to point out that you guys haven't told Sir Rowan.
Correct.
That we
You've
were
to-
there.
Right.
You've told him where you're going. You've told him who you're looking for. You've told him what
we
you're
haven't
looking to
said
do.
why.
But you haven't mentioned to Rowan at all that you are Grey Warden recruits.
Nah.
He's just like dum 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 dum. Hey.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure we already like know this. This isn't a secret from us, but now I gotta like check.
No, so you guys are aware that because you guys learned it from Carver.
Yeah, that's right. Yes,
Carver
yes.
told you that the signal that was given, his unit were supposed to hold the line until the Tower of Ashal was lit up, at which point they were supposed to charge and push the line. That would hold them in place enough for the cavalry to come in and run them over, but the cavalry never came, so they pushed forward.
I think
pushed
that was
himself.
the thing I missed. So
Might have been. So when Carver's unit pushed forward, pushed into enemy lines, they were essentially caught between two waves of Darkspawn and ripped apart within minutes.
Yep.
So yeah, Logan pretty much responsible for the. I wouldn't say that it could have been a victory, because above table we know it's a blight, but certainly the mass loss that it was is on Logan's shoulders.
Sucks. We hate it.
This boat is full of people we fucking hate.
yeah. So yeah, whenever Rowan's like, oh yeah, like there's this rumor, I'm gonna be like, huh, weird.
As they come on and the back panel of the ferry comes up, there's another ring of the bell and the ferry begins to sail, making its way towards the island of Jainen. I know we're a little bit early on it, we're actually a fair bit early on it, but I do want to take a wee 15-minute break there.
Yeah,
That'd be
absolutely.
great because I haven't eaten dinner.
But well, so in that case,
Dinner?
what we're going to do is we're going to go 15-20 minutes, okay? So it is currently 10 past. We'll be back here at half past the hour, so I can let my cast get a snack and get some stuff sorted. And with the way this is going, I've got a feeling I need to get quite a few things prepared. So don't go anywhere, folks, and we'll be back in 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Cause a fight and
Hello there, folks. We are back. Sorry about the delay. It was really my fault. I started talking about shite.
We were yapping.
we were yapping, and I got rice cakes, and it's just a good day when you can eat rice cakes with your friends.
Exactly.
But anyway, we are back. When we left off, the ferry had just departed from West Hill to make its roughly 12-hour journey to Jainen. Now, you guys are aware that you're on board here with a bunch of, like, you know, Ferelden dockyard workers, okay? That's what the majority of the people on board this ship are. They are hardy, dedicated naval workers. The rest of what you've got on here are knights, civilians, no doubt thinking the logic of, oh, if I'm across a body of water, the Darkspawn can't get to me. And then you know that you've also got some Kunari on board. Give 10 minutes. Give it 10 minutes or so, and you're out into the open water. The particular body of water that you're currently sailing on is called... I know it's part of the Waking Sea, but I'm wondering if it has an actual name or if it is still just the Waking Sea. No, it's the Waking Sea. You're on the Waking Sea. So, what would you all like to do? What's the first thing you would like to do here?
Something I'm tempted to do, but I don't know if Meryl would do it. I'm debating. Y'all do your things.
I don't think Vessa's ever been on a boat, so I think she's really kind of in this weird, like, experiencing, like, the sea breeze, also realizing it's, you know, trying to get her sea legs, realizing it's probably not too different from an Araval.
Shit, that reminds me. That's a very, very good thing you just said there. It just reminded me. I need to roll.
Roll for seasickness.
Rolling for Luca.
Oh, Luca, baby.
Luca's never been out from underneath the ground.
Oh, baby. I mean, there are underwater lakes he could have floated on.
I'm going to say he's okay for now. That is 2 6s and a 1, so he does get 6 stunt points on that. He can't really use stunt points for this particular thing. He's using Constitution.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, 13 for now. But he is starting to look a little bit kind of like, you know, green around the tips of the ears and stuff.
No.
And he's going to kind of look at you, Meryl, and like... I feel really weird all of a sudden.
You're probably just feeling seasick. That happens.
Is that bad? Is it contagious? I don't want to get you seasick.
No. No.
A little contagious.
Anything you would like to do?
She's gonna pull out a little bit of ginger for him to chew on. That helps with seasickness. So she'll be like, it won't make everything completely better, but this might help with the seasickness, so just on it.
Ye old Dramamine.
He takes the ginger root and just really going to town on it. Like, at this point, so Rowan has walked away. He's kind of up towards the prow of the ship, standing, watching.
Is Vessa going towards Rowan?
Not right now.
Okay, then I'm gonna go find her.
Avoiding the cute guy like the plague.
Meryl will try and go
It's
find
just
Vessa.
awkward now.
Oh, just an awkward bean. But I will try and find Vessa and get her alone.
Vessa, are you easy to be found alone?
Yeah.
Okay. You can find Vessa and you are alone with Vessa.
Meryl, also awkward, kind of like just like stands next to Vessa for a little bit. Just like, how does one talk to someone? And I think she'll just be like, she's just so blunt. She's just gonna say, you probably shouldn't get involved with Rowan.
Is it because he's a human and I don't like humans? Tira's already given me an earful. A long earful. LOL.
Because things like that don't work out.
Yes, I know.
Okay. I've seen things in the city. And it's not good. So I just wouldn't suggest it.
I was like, I would have to leave my clan.
It goes beyond that. But yeah. You would have to do that as well.
No, this...
Gonna walk away now. Very much like Bruno, when it's just like, bye. Just walks away. She just leaves. She's like, I have said the thing that I need to say, and I walk away now.
I love Meryl.
Vessa looks a little bit sad.
I'm so sorry, Meryl's the worst. She's the worst.
Oh, she's not?
Can I make a perception check to see if I catch Vessa being sad after Meryl leaves?
Would that be perception? Oh, I
Everyone
mean,
with binoculars just watching.
Meryl and Vessa are talking? What are they talking about?
Eyeballs on the sad elf.
I mean, it's 14.
Oh, 14, okay.
Let me just... I keep losing the page. Where the feck is my focuses and talents? Where are they? Found them. Took me a little second there. Would that be a perception check? Let's see here. I believe it would be a perception empathy check.
Okay. Yep. Same score, 14.
Same score, 14. Absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
I guess then my question would be, Vessa, how well are you hiding it? Do you think you're hiding it quite well? Would it require a check? Or do you think a 14's enough for you to go, yeah, they can probably tell?
I mean, she's not, like, hiding it, but mostly because she's facing out towards the sea. So most people would be behind her.
Okay.
So I think if you're looking, it won't require a check. But if you're not looking, then you won't see it.
Well, there you go. Okay.
I will also awkwardly walk up next to Vessa.
Everyone just wants to say something.
Because you're sad and you deserve to be happy. And Vessa and Rowan are really cute. Meryl's just the worst.
I'm gonna start this by saying I'm sorry.
For what?
Being an ass.
It's what siblings do, right?
Right, but... I also didn't enjoy seeing you looking out over the water, all mushed from what I can assume was probably not a great conversation.
Oh, it's, Not something I didn't already know. Humans and elves don't usually last.
Only when you approach it with that attitude. I mean, it's worrisome that he's a Templar. It's worrisome that, in the grand scheme of things, we're not exactly on the same page. But admittedly, I understand where you're coming from. Not with him. But
Tira says you can do better.
sort of. But like, I don't think that just because they're a Shemlin doesn't mean that you can't be attracted to them or have feelings for them or develop a meaningful relationship with them. It's just different. It's hard. But if you're actually going to put forth an effort, I do want you to know that I support you or whatever and would support that decision as a sibling. The same way that I hope you will one day. And she just pats her on the back and walks away on that.
Everyone's just leaving me.
Do you know who would never? Do you know who would never?
Everyone's
leave
coming
you?
up to say something and just walking away.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know
Not
who-
giving you time to say shit.
You know who would never leave you?
Sir
Rowan's
Cuthbert.
first for sure.
Yeah, Sir Cuthbert.
Sir Cuthbert's a good egg. He would never leave anybody.
That's the real true love here.
There is one other thing that Tyr wants to do before anything pops off. Not that
Okay.
things are going to pop off, just that I know that we're on a boat and isolation and provocation equals a problem.
Okay.
Tira's gonna cut off the braid that Meryl did.
Okay.
Rip out a page of her journal, fold it up, put the braid in it, and put it in her pocket.
Okay.
Because she's convinced she's gonna die.
All right. Anything else from anybody? Okay. Oh, wait, Aldred's face. Aldred's got a face.
Stupid. So give me a second.
It's stupid. Nah, go ahead. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Oh, okay. I'm going to go push the Arvarad off the boat.
Yes. I can't just push him because then the control rod goes away. And then our friend says, oh, best kill myself. And I'd rather not have that be our outcome.
Yeah, that's not what we're going for here.
No, yeah. I think I'm still debating on how Aldred will approach these Kunari.
If you need a distraction, let me know.
Well, I may. Are they? I think after Meryl gave Luca the ginger, Aldred helped Luca move to somewhere in the center of the boat because that also helps with seasickness. You move less. Then once he's planted there, it is ginger. I think Aldred's going to go looking for those Kunari, see if they've all kind of gathered in one place and are just sitting there.
Okay. Okay. In that case, if you're going looking for them, that's going to be a perception searching.
Totally. I'm gonna whip out these dice because we're doing Kunari stuff.
Doing Kunari stuff.
Stun points, but good stuff nonetheless, I think. Methinks. Can me do math? 11.
11. Okay. On that, it's very easy to find Kunari on a ship designed for humans.
I figured as much.
Very, very easy to do that. And as you come across them, they're in like a room that they've got, bunk room kind of thing. Are you watching from afar, or are you walking right up to the room?
I actually think Aldred is going to approach calmly, instead watching from afar, trying to keep himself as unnoticed as a Kunari can be. So he's got his hood up, basically, and he's from afar, seeing if he can hear anything else that they're talking.
Okay. In that case, that would be a perception hearing check to see if you can hear anything else they're saying.
Better. 14.
Okay. On a 14, you can definitely hear what they're talking about.
Okay.
And as they're speaking in Kunla, you will be able to understand all of it.
Awesome.
So, as the conversation goes, you can tell that this person, the Arvarad, the person who's wielding the rod, was at one point an Arvarad.
Okay.
They then left the Qun, or rather they were encouraged to leave the Qun after their methods and how they were treating Sarabas were deemed as too cruel. They are now a Talvashoth warlord. They are travelling with... you get the idea, they travel with minimal guards as like a precaution. If you've got a warlord travelling with an entire army, they stand out. Whereas if you've got a warlord travelling with 3 or 4 people, they don't really stand out. They also operate as a kind of mercenary guild, and they capture Kunari mages and take them to circles. You hear them talking a bit of like kind of like in a mocking manner about how the way the humans break their minds. And that... So you'd be kind of familiar with the process of what being made tranquil is. Those who are made tranquil, they're referred to as the tranquil. They tend to just become like, the what's the word for it? The working class of the circles. They organise everybody's inventories. They are also very, very good at enchanting magic because they can't be affected by lyrium anymore. So they can go near raw lyrium in order to do enchanting. The other side of it as well is they do most of like the physical work in circles. So apparently from what's being said here, people, specifically Templars, will pay a handsome reward for Kunari who cannot be trusted with the magic they wield. They make them tranquil, and then they have some very, very large and strong physical manual labourers. So it would appear that what they're doing here is, you're from not far off of where West Hill is, so you'd be familiar with the kind of ins and outs of Jainen. Jainen does have a circle. That's about it.
No, I had the same thought process. There's a moment where Aldrad looks at the room, he having heard all of that. His sword hand begins to itch. He just wants to run in there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes the years of the Kuhn teachings in his mind that he has had to push down in order to find himself better. He has to dig those up within an instant to keep him from effectively killing himself here while running in.
Okay.
And he just wordlessly turns and tries to find, man, who the fuck does he tell? No.
Oh no, we lost a wacky.
Oh man, the person he might have told first, actually. Just been like, it's like, Vessa might do something, but yes. It's like, Meryl probably knows more information about circles. Vessa might do something, might be a bit more specialized in this approach. I think I just need instructions. Where's Tira? I just need good stuff.
Vessa would probably do something. That's not her.
Do something. I said like strategic or subtle.
We have a Tura back.
Yay. Good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just closed and reopened. I have no idea. My internet's fine.
Mine usually does that at the start of the Zoom call, so...
I don't know. It was just like, we're gonna reload for a second. And I was like, okay, cool, great, love that.
You're back now, and that's the important part.
Zoom
Sorry.
said, too tired. Must take nap.
Must sleep.
Just a little nap.
Are we?
It's like
we're
that
not
one video.
all-
It's like, I take a nap. I take a nap.
I'll take a nap.
Good night.
Good night. So, Aldrad, is it Tura you want to go find?
I would like to find everyone, to be fair, again. Because Aldrad is... The weird thing about Aldrad's... And I think this isn't just like, oh, Jack wants the opinion of the entire party. I think this is Aldrad being like... Having been raised in the Kuhn in such a... I'm not going to say collectivist, but you all have a role. I would like to hear everyone's voice here. I need to make an opinion. So I think Aldrad will attempt to, at the very least, he might not bother Rowan, and especially not Luca. Luca's going to be out for a bit, or for a second. Oh boy.
We can't trust him
actually
to
going-
not put his foot in it.
Luca right now is more, he is seasick, he needs a minute, and I think Aldrad is going to gather Meryl, Tira, and Vessa, and not just because those are the player characters, he's going to specifically leave out Rowan for right now, just with the information he's about to give.
Okay.
This is something he would like to talk to Rowan alone.
Rowan's
gonna try and-
to Rowan next after talking to Vessa.
Do your thing first. It's all good. This probably takes me a minute. I feel like Aldrad's like sitting there listening to this conversation, just like seething.
That's so valid. I too am seething, and I'm not even in the scene.
Same.
I wrote big mad in my notes.
We love that.
Well then, if you're going to try and rope everybody up together, avoiding Sir Rowan, but Meryl has something they want to do with Sir Rowan, do you mind if we go to Meryl? And then we know that's where your point is, that we've got that as like a point of time for everybody to have their first things done with for Aldrad gathering you guys together. Okay, so Meryl, we're going to go to you. You said you wanted to go and speak to Rowan.
I mean, she's basically gonna tell him something similar to Vessa.
Okay,
But
I'm
again,
excited.
just that awkward little.
I'm excited to see how
next to
that
him.
conversation goes. Okay. So you stand next to him, and he just kind of like doesn't look at you. He just keeps staring out at the sea, and then he's. I've always admired the sea.
The temptation for Meryl just be like, you shouldn't see Vessa anymore.
I've always
None of that should ruin your whole day.
I've always admired the sea. Stay single.
Okay.
Damn.
Got a little more class than that, maybe.
There's only one way to find out.
Meryl on the breakup tour is very funny.
She's the worst. She'll just be like, it is very blue. She doesn't know. She wasn't talked to for like most of her life, okay? She has zero conversation skills.
You are very correct. It is very blue.
I'm trying to think if I'm just gonna fix this because she's
No think, only do.
We listen and we don't judge.
She's just gonna go, how serious are you about Vessa?
Oh. Do you believe in fate? Just say stay single. Stay single, walk away.
Meryl has a very complicated relationship with that kind of stuff. She will say, I think in some ways, yes, in other ways, no. I have a complicated relationship with that sort of stuff.
I believe that the Maker has put us all here with a purpose and a reason, and that our lives have been mapped out. And while we may not say the things that we're supposed to say, we may not do the things we're supposed to do, I believe the key points in life are things you cannot avoid. And I believe that me meeting you all was one of those points for me. Now, I'm not a ridiculous person. I'm not saying I'm head over heels or incredibly infatuated whatsoever. But I'm very serious about wanting to court Vessa. If she would be willing. And I understand that it will not be easy, but it is something I believe is worthwhile.
Meryl just say the mean thing.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
She'll definitely take a second hearing this and knowing what she in particular has experienced with that. She's just gonna... I don't think you'll like the fate that you're headed for if you keep it up.
Meryl, were it said by any other person, I'd find that particular sentence oddly threatening.
It's not a threat, it's not a threat from me, it's just a promise of what the future would hold for you. More so, Vessa. If you want me to expound on that, I can. Or if you want me to walk away, I'll walk away.
Why would I tell you to walk away? I don't have ownership over this view. Nor do I have ownership of the boards beneath your feet.
I'm just saying if you don't want to hear what I have to hear, I'm not going to force that on you.
You don't need to explain to me the dangers of being encircled by a group of people who do not like you. I see it every day. I'm part of it. But the thing about being part of it is that you have a chance to change it, to fix it.
If it's fate to not be fixed.
And what if you're fated to fix it?
My experience, it just doesn't get fixed. It usually ends up with the elf dead. So.
Obviously, I can't speak from the point of view of someone who has seen that side of it. I don't live on that side of the coin. But I can speak from someone who knows that no matter who I were to share my heart with, were they entirely useless with the sword, or were they more than capable of taking care of themselves like Vessa is? There is one thing I do know for certain that puts this particular scenario at a slightly different pace. I know how capable I am at protecting what I care about. I appreciate...
I know.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Person that I'm particularly thinking of in this scenario could have saved her. And he didn't. He was very capable of protecting. And he didn't. And that's what happens.
Whatever happens has been fated to happen, and I accept it as the Maker's will. But I also accept that disbelief in its occurrence by standing in its way could in fact be an act of fate itself. To be clear, I've been told of what my blunder meant. And that is not at all my intention. I'm not intending on the teenage, strung out, heart-pulsing romance that you read about in novels.
He's not given a promise ring?
You said that and immediately I just got Jonas Brothers playing in my head and went, "Huh!"
I'm very anti-promise ring, I feel that.
But there is definitely something drawing me. There's a pull that she has, and I've never felt that with any other person. So, I ask you now, I ask you this. What else could it be? You can provide me with an answer that makes sense. I'll happily accept it. But what if it is he? What if it is the Maker shining his hand down and saying, this is where you are supposed to be?
I'm gonna say something not good. That's real.
Fucking do it! Do it! Self-discipline check. Self-discipline check. That's okay. That. I think that, you know, so in D&D you have like the, I don't know if I want to do this. Oh, I'll roll a d20. If it's a 1 to 10, I'll do it. If it's a 11 to 20, I won't do it. I think that's a key moment for like the moment you go, oh, I don't know if I should do this. Self-discipline check. See if you can keep. See if you can keep it.
Okay, so let's see. That's a 5, 3, and a 1. So that's 9, but plus 4 is a 13.
A 13. Okay, so do you think 13 is enough for Meryl to hold her tongue on this thing? I think that.
I mean, with what she knows.
I think if that's your reaction, that's a no.
Yeah, I think she might let it slip.
Because otherwise, so the reason I'm saying, and again, it's not this is.
No, I totally get it.
Dragon Age as a game is not I'm the DM, so I say these things happen, so it happens. It's a partnership. So yeah. I'm happy to let you take the control on this one. You decide if that number's enough. All I'm saying is, if you roll a 13 and go, that probably tells me it's a no.
Yeah. I think she's feeling a little raw right now.
Oh, okay.
So I think she is gonna let it slip just a little. And she's like, what if it's the Maker? And she just so quietly, probably barely even heard by Rowan, is just like, then he's a cruel bastard.
I think for the first time you see Rowan break his posture. Perhaps to you. But I felt his hand in places of comfort. So I like to believe. I hope that you find that happiness that you are so determined to believe does not exist.
Because it doesn't.
It's very easy to say something doesn't exist when you can't see it.
People like me don't get that. Maybe somebody else.
People like you don't get that. Remind me if we're still travelling together. There's a friend I should introduce you to. And he's going to go, she's a mage.
No.
Double date, double date.
He's very much not meaning it like that. I can understand that his wording could come across as like that. Mm-hmm. He's very much meaning it as a sense of like you're doing the whole well I'm not supposed to get that kind of stuff, and he's like, haha, I know somebody exactly like that.
I know somebody who does get that stuff.
He will say, in fact, I think you'd have even more of an issue with them than you do with me.
Don't have an issue with you, Ron, but I do think that you're a little bit blinded.
And I think you're slightly jaded.
Oh, I'm more than that. More than slightly.
Then the twisted ear should not herald the slightly dimmed eyes, for they cannot truly understand what the eyes have come to rely upon. And then he makes a face of like, I think that's the in his head he's now like, that's the line. I've now crossed the line. And you see that very disciplined, he straightens his back up again, pulls his heels in together, and is like, I apologise. I overstepped the mark. I will leave you to the rest of your day.
I can almost guarantee that there is no line that you can step over that has not been stepped over with me, so...
But it's not a line that's been stepped over by me. And I do not step over lines. So I apologise. And I thank you for your... I thank you for your concern. And I thank you for your advice. A good afternoon to you, Meryl.
Give a little nod and walk away. Like a little depressed
He will walk in a opposite direction from you.
That is very valid.
Does anybody else have anything that they want to do before Aldrad rounds up the four of you?
Not any fucking more.
I'm about to say, Jesus Christ, I feel like I could cut the tension there with a butter knife.
I feel like Tira was gonna walk up, saw like the daggers and like the anime flames behind each of them, and was like, nope.
Tira did the Bart Simpson's granddad. Right back in.
I guess I'm gonna try and find Aladrad while Aladrad's trying to find me.
I feel like we bump into each other. Oh. Like Aldred's very much in his head.
I know I'm short, but I'm not that short. Don't run into me.
It wasn't intentional. I'll make sure not. I'll keep a better eye out. I need to talk to everyone. Save for Rowan. I need to speak with him privately.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna have an easier time than you think on that one.
I've missed a lot, too.
Yeah. Meryl showed emotion. I saw it. For 2 seconds. A whole 2.
I'll believe it when I see it.
You don't want to.
I do. I
Not
do,
like that.
actually.
Not like that.
Any emotion would be good, honestly. All things considered for...
Fair.
Doesn't need feelings. Feelings are useless.
Can I also make a self-discipline?
I would say
okay.
I would say I'm under the fair assumption, I trust you all enough at this point,
Okay.
that if you don't know if your characters would literally say something, I'll allow you to just go, I'm just going to roll a self-discipline. and you get to decide what your number is. If that number matches it, then cool, it was meant to happen. If that number doesn't do it, then hey, hold it in and bring it out at another point. So by all means, go for it. Roll that self-discipline.
Cool. It was not good. So Tira is going to just look up at Aldred and be like, "Can you do me a favor?"
By all means, I will do my best.
And she's going to pull out the little folded thing and just, like, kind of hold it up. If, the worst happens, just pass that along to who it's supposed to go to. You'll know who.
The what? Sorry? I want to clarify what I'm being hit.
It's a little folded piece of paper.
Okay.
With, like, something in it.
Aldred will hold on to it. There's no name or writing on it. It's literally just something... Yeah.
You'll know who it's supposed to go to when the time comes.
Aldred takes it. Gingerly puts it in the breastplate, because he knows it'll be safe there. You have my word. But you need to do me a favor. That you will hand this to that person yourself. Don't believe the worst is to come for you, Tira.
I have watched you cleave people in half, and we're probably about to go pick a fight with people that are going to do the same. And I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm about the size of 3 twigs.
I've seen someone the size of 2 twigs cleave a mountain in half. Or at least I've heard stories of it.
How
Tis not
tall
the
is
size.
Tira? I'm just curious.
5, even.
Okay. I'm 5'3".
Yeah.
So I'm the size of 3.5 twigs.
Tis not the size of the blade that matters. It's how you use it.
That's what people with small blades say.
In truth, yes.
They're just overcompensating.
Yeah. In truth, yes. It is what people with small blades say.
That's not compensation, that's a counterweight.
Exactly.
Black wall.
It's a good one.
Let me get this straight. If the worst doesn't happen, I have to give it to that person.
Unless it's meant to be some kind of goodbye, then yes.
Oh. Can I have it back instead? I'd rather not give it to you if that's the rules.
I will only give it to that. I'm only pulling your leg, Tira.
Okay.
You have my solemn vow. But I will not need to carry forward it.
Alright. Okay. We have to go find the others, right? And she just starts turning to go find the others.
Uh-huh. Aldred will follow behind. Or at least we'll go wherever... Yeah, Tira goes one way. Aldred will find whoever Tira doesn't find.
I'm not going to Meryl. I'll tell you that right now. She scared me.
Aldred will go find Meryl.
That's a family meeting.
Easy enough to find. Following.
Meryl. Having a bit of a convo with the main 4.
About.
Found some information.
Okay.
Just follows along.
We don't all have, like, rooms, right? Do we all, like... No, because they're just in a storeroom, yeah?
No, it's all cabin spaces.
Okay. So I think Aldred will, like, kind of bring them into, like, a corner, kind of far away from people, and speaking in kind of a low voice. He basically will just recount all that he heard from the conversation, which is... I can read over my notes if people were taking notes, but yeah,
Go ahead and do that because I think I missed a few pieces.
So what I have is just bullet points. Aravad was encouraged to leave the Qun for being too cruel. He's now a Talbashoth warlord, traveling with a smaller gang to not attract as much attention. They're also a minor mercenary group that captures Kunari mages and brings them to circles. I might have misinterpreted something Brand said, but I have mocking humans breaking of minds, the Tranquil.
No, he was talking about it. So he was
talking about it.
He was making fun of the mages who are made tranquil.
Even fucking worse somehow.
Yep.
He was making fun of the Tranquil. The Templars make Sarabas tranquil, then have strong manual labor. Jainen has a circle.
Merrill just being like, you can't trust him, he's a Templar. This Talvashoff exists. Okay, maybe not that bad.
I mean, this is probably something she's seen before.
Somebody being made tranquil? Absolutely.
But also, like, stuff with the Sarabas. She probably would have seen that.
No, this is no. Sorry,
okay.
So this is a thing that I have kind of formulated. There's no canon record of a Sarabas being brought to a circle to be made tranquil.
Okay.
But Jainen, I mean it wholeheartedly. Go and search whatever you want to about Jainen and any Dragon Age lore drop or whatever. The only thing we know about Jainen is it has a circle. That's it. That's all we know. So I've decided to make it a bit of because it's a port town or a port city, so lots of manual dock workers and lots of stuff like that.
Okay.
The circle gets gold for lending out their tranquil and their mages to do things in the cities that they're a part of. So a bunch of Kunari tranquil, very good way to make some coin and manual labor.
Yeah, she would have seen the whole process from becoming tranquil. So
so there's no circle more prominent in making mages tranquil than the White Spire. Kirkwall is definitely the worst place for a mage to be, but they get, for the most part, they're just kind of left to be mages. The White Spire is like, oh, see, you wore the wrong type of shoes to that event, and that just doesn't strike us as somebody who's in a safe place of mind. So, you're tranquiled. So yeah, you've seen a lot of people being made tranquil.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of like a glazed over look on her eyes as she's remembering some of this stuff. She keeps her expression mostly neutral.
I'm sorry if any of this information is deeply disturbing. But...
So we're gonna go kill them then?
That would be the preferable outcome, yes. However, Talvashoth warlords aren't exactly slouches, one could say. But now considering our poor Sarabas's ultimate fate, if he is still loyal to the Qun, perhaps the outcome he would desire when this is all settled and done might be better for him.
A free death is better than a life of servitude.
Couldn't say it better myself.
Cheers.
Well, they're all in one area.
Sounds like an easy place to hit. Bunch of big guys trying to swing in a small area. Can't be that bad.
Get your AoEs ready.
I'm gonna make somebody a bomb.
Aldrad will look to Vessa and Meryl. Any and all thoughts are welcome.
If you can get the control rod out of their hands, I can take it away. I can get in and get out, but I am under no delusion that I can rip it from their hands.
So, this is a bit reliant on luck. Jack had thought of this earlier, so I'm going to, before even mentioning this is a possibility, Bran, there is one of the, I'm going to need stun points for this to work, so this doesn't feel like a reliable plan, but one of the combat stunts is disarm. It does mention a weapon, though, so I don't know if I can just disarm anything.
I would say in the context of this particular thing, I would count a command rod as a weapon because it is used to command a spellcaster in the means of an attack. So I would count it very loosely.
Yes.
But in that particular line of thinking, I think it's rule of cool enough that I'd count it as a weapon.
It could also be considered an improvised weapon because they could whack you with it.
Oh yeah, they definitely could hit you. So the control rods are about yay big. They're not like that. They're not like this big. They're pretty long.
It's like a scepter.
I always think of them as like cheer batons, but like fancier.
Yeah.
You have to do a little routine to tell them to cast Thunderbolt.
You gotta like throw it up in the air and actually catch it to get them to throw a fireball.
Yeah. Like,
Let's go, Kunari.
Give me a second. That's really funny. Sorry, now I'm just imagining a bunch of Kunari and a bunch of fucking cheerleading outfits.
Oh, it's cold in here. I said there must be Kunari in the atmosphere. I said, it's cold in here.
Yeah, that's the part they don't tell you about the Grey Warden joining is you have to do we're all in this together and say what team Grey Wardens.
Yeah, I know that whole thing.
I need to refresh my memory. It's on my wedding line dance playlist.
I know.
I love that.
Tira may also fall on her sword if that's the case.
I know High School Musical far too well for somebody who's my age. Well, I mean, I was a teenager when it came out. Like, I've got an excuse. I was watching Disney Channel when it was a thing. Because I'm old.
Me too.
I think I was like 12 or 13.
Meryl's gonna raise her little hand.
No.
I don't know if you know how the process works, Aldred, but do you know... Do they hand over the road to whoever buys the Sabaras? Oh no, so we lost Wacky again.
I'm going to presume that the Aravad stays during this process. Because if they are separated from... If a Sarabas is separated from their Aravad, they're just told to... Well, keep everyone safe and put themselves out of their misery. So... But... That's assuming this Sarabas is loyal to the Kyun.
If they as a group are kidnapping Sarabas, then it doesn't seem like all of them anyway would have the control rod like under permission, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's just a simple thing of getting the Sarabas and the control rod, and whoever holds the control rod controls the Sarabas, then all we have to do is get the stick.
The reason I ask is I've got... What I'm wearing now is a little bit of a hybrid, but I have more traditionally circle clothing with that paraphernalia, and I could see if I might propose buying them to see if I can get the rod. Just to get the Sarabas away from them so that they don't get caught in the crossfire.
We'd probably have to wait till we're in Jainen for that to work.
I could simply say that I am from Valhoyo and I heard about this proposition, and as we make many people tranquil back home, I would be interested in getting that for my circle back home.
Ooh, I like it. Meryl's being tricksy. That's what you've missed.
Aldred's nodding. Extremely clever, Meryl.
Slightest. So small. Slightest twitch of the mouth up at being praised by both of them. Like,
I've been praised? I don't know what to do about that. I've never been praised before.
like just the littlest twitch.
What's this?
Barely
Praise?
noticeable.
I'd like 47 more, please.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but
With that idea being said, Keeper, is it like a rank thing, or is it whoever holds the rod controls the Sarabas?
Within the Qun, it is
Within the
very
Qun,
much.
yeah.
It's very much a case of you can't really be 100% certain. Only an Arvarad would ever hold the rod,
Fair enough.
so you could never really tell. Within Talvashov, who knows? It could be any combination of the two possibilities. It could be any combination caused by the two factors.
Quite like Meryl's idea. If nothing else, I think it also gives us a very good ability to approach and catch them off guard.
if Meryl thinks it's a good idea, I think it's a good idea.
Very
I think it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. And I will go get changed.
While Meryl does that, actually, I think quickly Aldred is going to go try and find Rowan.
Okay. So Rowan is at the stable parts of the ship, and you can hear Rowan from Sir Cuthbert's paddock, but you can hear the sound of like a blade biting into wood.
And continue to approach with more curiosity now, a little wariness.
As you approach, you see that Rowan has built some kind of like very makeshift training dummy, and he is walking through the steps of fighting with a sword and shield.
Anything I notice about his form?
It's very, very good form, very standard Templar form. He fights like he does not intend to move. He fights like, I have somehow ended up 5 feet in front of you. I will not be leaving this 5 foot.
As Aldred's approaching. Excellent form. Sturdy, a castle of a warrior.
Stops and turns around and smiles, panting from the exertion. I find that the better you are with the shield, the less often you have to use the sword.
I like that logic.
What can I do for you?
Those Talvashop I was telling you of before.
Yes.
learned a great deal about them. And wanted to make you aware of some things, but privately.
Okay.
And yeah, he'll just kind of go through all the information and then kind of emphasize when it gets to like the Templars using the Cerebos basically as like just a more aggressive manual labor tranquils. He'll emphasize that. And he didn't want to. I think when he gets to that, he'll stop and say, "It felt as if that information may have singled you out in our group. So I wanted to tell it to you privately. Or notify you privately."
Well, I thank you for that information. So what is it you're proposing we do?
Well, we plan to intercept this small group of Talbashoth. Hopefully wrest free the Cerebos from their control. And while I may not... my own relationship with the Qun is intriguing. Something that is still dug into me is a sense of loyalty. And I will say, a Qunari who is bought so easily by the clink of gold is one that should be rather dead than walking.
I agree. From any walk of life.
Did not want to speak on that, but I'm glad we share that view.
So you want us to end the Talvashoff lives?
We're going to... Merrill came up with a extremely clever plan that we're actually going to try and give ourselves an upper hand before fully ending them. Get the Cerebos out of the crossfire.
Then I'm with you.
I figured you would be. It's good that you're already warmed up.
Where to now?
Follow me. I'm just gonna get everyone back together as we wait for Merrill.
Okay.
Also, go find Luca, unless someone's already going to find him.
So,
Not Vessa.
after we have Tura and Merrill, is there anybody else that has anything they'd like to do? Okay, fantastic. Tura,
I'm ready
you
to
went
throw down.
What am I doing?
I said I'm ready to throw down.
Was Tura not going to find Merrill?
No, Tira found Vessa.
Right.
That was from
okay.
earlier when we were gathering.
Right.
people.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
okay. Okay. I was like, what did I do?
So,
I was also confused.
so then, is there anybody in particular going to find Merrill, or?
I mean, I guess I'll go find Meryl, assuming I was already falling.
Oh, Meryl was gonna come back. She just was gonna
Never
retreat
mind.
and then come
Never
back.
mind. Never
Okay,
mind.
cool, awesome. So Merrill's easy.
Luke
to
is
grab
the
a
one
hold
that's
of.
missing, I think.
I'll get Luca.
Tara,
Find
you're
my
able,
son.
you're able to find Luca very easily. He is seasick as a dog.
Oh.
Poor kid.
He's like curled up in the fetal position in front of like a big wooden like bucket.
Oh.
I'll take off my scarf and give it to him as a pillow, and then just leave him there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's out of this fight. He needs a minute.
Or, hear me out, he can just all over all of them.
Just vomits blood on people and makes it acidic.
It's a blight!
So with everybody being gathered together, you're now going to try and find the Talvashoth. Okay. Then I believe with you guys coming together, Tur bringing Vessa, Aldrad bringing Rowan, Meryl bringing
Herself now looking a lot.
looming cloud of sorrow.
Yeah. That's such an accurate description.
I think that's a nice place to wrap it. We can pick up tomorrow with you. Not tomorrow. Pick up next time with you guys.
Like we could.
I mean, if everybody's free, I don't have a session tomorrow.
Sadly.
Technically could.
Yay.
I've got other Dragon Age stuff tomorrow.
That's so valid.
There you go. But yeah, in that case, I think that we will wrap it there, guys. Thank you very much for everybody that came to see us today, and thank you to my amazing party for bringing me such joy in this Dragon Age game.
That's what we brought you today.
It is exactly what you... It's what you bring me most days. Most days. If you enjoy what you've seen here today, guys, you should go and check out all of our other social medias that we do have. There's loads of them. Loads of social medias that we have. But we're currently most active on Blue Sky or TikTok. So you'll be safer on those ones, but we do have a lot of different social medias, but they're all in the same place to be found. You can go to my TikTok, go to my link tree in my TikTok, or go to our link tree on our TikTok, at World Tree Quests. Click on the link, and then that'll bring you all of our social medias, and you can follow us there. If you don't like doing all that stuff, then you can just do it very easily by going to any social media and typing in World Tree Quests. So please go and do that, because we do have lots of cool things coming up. Another thing is that I have now got back into my run with professional DMing. So if you do want to contribute to the ongoing of my career and also play a real fun game of D&D or Dragon Age or Call of Cthulhu or Old Gods of Appalachia or Vaesen or any of these other cool TTRPGs, then you should go click on the link I've just put into the chat, where you can see my full schedule as it's coming. I do have a game on tomorrow called The Dead Marsh, and it involves taking precious cargo across an abandoned marsh town riddled with the undead.
It looks super cool.
It's a very cool long distance dungeon trek, but it's like an outside dungeon. So if you are interested, go and check it out, and maybe we'll play some D&D together. Who knows? Other than that, go and see me at Son of Asgard on TikTok. Or you... Oh, wait, no. I can say things now, I can. You can also see me playing games. Every now and again over on VexWild_14. I play Mani von Zarevich, the grandson of Strahd, in a campaign called Tallish Amity with the dummies and dice rolls. Fantastic game, it's going great as it is. And I've also just started playing a Spelljammer campaign with the amazing people over at Owlbear Adventures, where I play Killian Starmantle, who is, if you imagine Batman and Iron Man and somehow fused both of them into one entity, well, that is not Killian, but Killian is definitely smarter than that guy. I'm having a lot of fun playing that. I've never played an Artificer before, but I'm playing an Artificer. It's really funny. I'm basically Iron Man, but I've also got a sword, which is really cool. And I've got a gun. I played my first session. I messed with every single spell that I rolled, and I just got really sick of it, and I just pulled out my gun and shot a guy in the face. It was really funny. So if you want to see any of those things, that's where you go and check it. Tallish Amity, every second Sunday over on Vexwild_Fiend at 1_14, and then Spelljammer every second Wednesday over on Owlbear Adventures. And that's everything from me. So now that I've plugged all that, I'm going to pass over my players and let them tell you where you can see their pretty faces. So we're going to start off with Jess. Where can we see your lovely face, Jess?
I'm here on Wednesdays, playing my little druid 8. But other than that, I'm here and I'm happy.
There you have it. They're here and they're happy. That's all you can really ask for. Wacky, what about yourself?
Couple things. If you enjoy me playing, you might enjoy me running games. At Dicey Table Pod, which is on pretty much every social media. We're not super active because I am busy editing the podcast currently for the upcoming reboot season 1. That will be a die campaign that I am running. There may be some familiar voices that you hear in there. And then, other than that, if you want to hang out and play indie RPGs, I'm always in Talking Crit running and playing in games. So, that's what I plug.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Wacky, thank you so much. Going on now to Jack. Anything you'd like to plug, comment on at all?
All my socials are Jacklish. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Short and sweet. Love to see it. Thank you so much, Jack. And moving on last and most certainly not least to Abby. Anything you'd like to plug at all?
You can find me on the socials at WittyXWitch, mostly doing a lot of cosplay. I'm most active on Instagram right now, trying to get back into TikTok, but my space is kind of messy. And you can hear my voice on Sundays, basically lore dumping on Casper Grimshaw as they play through Veilguard, their first Dragon Age game. That's it.
Not sure how I feel about that, but if that's it from all of my players and that's it from me, well then, that is it from us. Thank you everybody for coming to see us. I've been your DM of Doom, your keeper for today. Son of Asgard or World Tree Quests here on Twitch and YouTube. With me today we've had Stories from the Roses, we've had TTV Wacky Man, we've had Witty X Witch, and we have had Jacklish. From all of us here at World Tree Quest, good night, stay safe. You can love anybody you want to, even if they're a human, and even if they'll make your family not happy. You love that human. You love the pretty stable boy, and you love the horse he brings into it with you. Also,
Daddy, I love him!
Also, don't pull a finny. Good night, folks. Good night.